This week's video is going to be a little bit of a story for you. It is my health and fitness journey. I realized that I was going through all the videos that I had made this year and kind of realized that I didn't make a video like this and I didn't really explain to you everything that I kind of have been through in the last couple of years since starting my journey, and I think it's important. So let's just dive into it. It's going to be somewhat short and sweet because I don't want it to be like a 20-minute video. So starting off with my childhood. So as a kid, I was never very athletic. I grew up with two older brothers who were pretty athletic, and I was always the girly girl. So I loved dressing up and I loved playing with dolls and things like that. The one thing that I did really like to do was dance. So my parents put me in ballet when I was really young, but I never really pursued like competitive dance or anything like that. I think just because I just purely wasn't in for the competition, and I just really wasn't into being an athlete, even though dance isn't like a sport. Like, I don't really know, but I just wasn't into it. So my parents never really pushed me into anything. I remember in elementary school, I think I was in a couple of cross-country events. So our school would have like these big meets and we would do like long distance running, hurdles, all those things, right? And I really enjoyed them, but I was never really great at them. I would always come in like third or fourth, and that just wasn't very good for me. I just always kind of felt like the loser. I never felt like the winner, which sounds really sad. I'm laughing now, but it was pretty sad back then. And you'll notice throughout me telling you that a major theme of my story is that when I was in elementary school and high school, I was very, I didn't feel good enough ever, no matter what. I always felt like second best, no matter if it was like sports or school or anything, really. I just always felt pushed aside, just in general. So just kind of keep that in mind. So but also in elementary school, I was on the basketball team, which is hilarious because I'm 5 feet nothing now, and back then I was even shorter. So I really liked basketball, but I just didn't like the fact that everybody was taller than me. It kind of scared me a little bit, so I never wanted to be played. I also did volleyball, which is still one of my absolute favorite sports. I remember in grade 7 when I made the team, and I was just so excited, and did it also in grade 8 and then tried it in grade 9, but I was just so scared that I wasn't good enough again, so I never went to the second tryout. I only went to the first. So in high school, you're only, in Canada, I think it's Canada, but at least in Ontario, I believe, students are only required to take one gym credit, and that's in grade 9. So after grade 9, I was like, great, I don't have to take gym again. Swipe this off the list. Like, I don't have to bring clothes or shoes. I don't have to be sweaty during the day. This is great. Perfect. So instead of gym, I decided to take dance, and I took that course, dance, for 4 years. It wasn't like a super active class, but like we danced every day and we stretched every day. So very grateful for that because that was probably my only real movement for like probably the first 3 years of high school. I didn't really do anything else. And I think it was either grade 11 or grade 12, but I'm pretty sure it was grade 11. And I was, one of my really good friends, who's still one of my really good friends today, wanted me to join the soccer team. I had never played soccer in my life, but she wanted me to join because she wanted someone kind of like her friend to be on the team, to hang out, whatever. So she kind of convinced me. My boyfriend kind of convinced me at the time, or the guy that I was seeing at the time also convinced me, because he was probably the biggest jock. Like that, just think of like the, archetype of the popular high school jock. That was this guy that I was dating. So he was a massive football player. He was also playing rugby at the time. So I kind of felt like maybe I should do something to kind of align with him. So just another thing of like not being enough. And did that, but I hated it. I hated running. I actually remember like being in practice and we'd have to like run the field, and I would be like telling myself in my head, okay, like only a couple more minutes, like you know, don't show that you're dying, like you can do this. Like it was it was horrible. And then once I graduated high school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do and decided to take what is called a gap year. And that is after high school, you decide to take some time off, whether you want to decide what you want to do, or maybe you're trying to make some money to save up for college or university. My case, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I took a couple courses at my high school, and then I also worked just to save some money. Ultimately, at the end of the year, I decided to attend a university for communications, and I went, and the first half of the year was awesome. I made lots of friends. I was working out like probably 2 to 3 times a week, but at this point I was doing a lot of cardio. There was no like weightlifting or anything like that involved. It was a lot of cardio. And I was also having, and I also had a really bad relationship. I was starting to really get a bad relationship with food at this point because I was living on campus. So we had to eat like cafeteria food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was not good food. And I even remember like going home to visit family members, and they would look at me and like ask why I was so thin. Like, why was I so skinny? Was I not eating at university? Were they not feeding me? When at the time I felt like I was a cow because I was eating so much of the calf food and eating so much snacks, things like that. Like, I was just eating all the time. But I think like the stress and that point in my life was a very rocky uphill battle. So I was very stressed, very anxious all the time. So I was probably just like shedding the weight and not even really realizing it. Things were not fitting the same. You know, things were baggy on me. I preferred baggy clothes at this point. And again, food was very much an emotion for me. So I would like, if I was having a bad day, I would go and eat, you know, junk food, which was like pretty much every day. I was also partying a lot. So like 4 to 5 times a week. That's a lot. I was very much used to just doing it on the weekends, but now it was weekdays and weekends. And in the second half of the year, unfortunately, went through a lot with my roommate and my friends that I was supposed to live with for the second year. And we ultimately had to end our friendship. And my roommate was literally like feet away from me because we were in the same room. So we had to kind of act like, you know, things were okay. I wasn't really okay though. My mindset, my mental health was horrible. I pretty much would just go to class, come back, lie in bed, watch Netflix, maybe go out, you know, see my friend. The one friend that I had there was a girlfriend that I had kept from elementary school. We just ended up going to the same university, so she was great because she would invite me to, like, her and her floor mates would go out for, you know, meals, and she'd invite me. They'd go out to parties, she would invite me, you know, just things like that. But every weekend I was going home because I just didn't want to be there. I wanted to just be home. So my parents pretty much forced me to finish out the year, which I did. And when I came back was kind of when I started to rebuild my relationship with the gym again. And that's kind of when I, you know, found Pilates, and I found workout classes and things like that. And that's when I really started to get into it because I was distracted from the depressed state that I was in from being at university. But again, food was still the enemy. So carbs were the enemy, fat was not your friend, sugar was, you know, a no-no, but maybe when you were in hiding you could eat it, things like that. So then I started college that fall. While I was in university, I was volunteering for a radio station and fell in love with journalism. So after the year, I decided to attend a college that was near my house so I could live at home, study journalism, work, all that stuff. So I had a pretty good routine. You know, I'd go to school, I'd go to work, or I'd go to school, I'd go to the gym. But again, like the food thing was such a big issue for me that I don't think I ever really realized it. I was so hard on myself when I would eat badly, or like that I would like break or have like a cheat day or whatever. But I was thriving as much as I thought I was because I was really enjoying my program. I was working out. I, you know, was making lots of friends, but really it was just like I still didn't feel insanely worthy of anything, to be completely honest with you. And it really wasn't until I graduated college that I that my fitness really started to kind of kickstart and kick up, because that's when I started to do a lot more classes with my mom. Before, I was doing a lot of like solo workouts that were kind of half-assed, if I'm being completely honest with you. So when I went to these classes, they would be like 30 minutes the whole entire time you'd be moving. The first few times I went, I was like, I hate this, Mom. Like, why would you make me go to this? This is horrible. And then a few weeks in, I was like, Mom, I love this. This is great. So we still do those classes to this day. We do Pilates twice a week, which we were starting to do back then. 2018 was when I started writing for Healthy is Hot, so I was gaining the knowledge and the information more on the health and fitness world. It was becoming more of like a mainstream thing for people to do, to talk about, and mental health was even becoming something that was huge as well. So it was just, it kind of all opened up as I was opening up myself. And where are we today? So 2019 is probably the first year that I have not been extremely hard on myself when it comes to food, feeling extremely guilty if I don't work out. I have a great relationship with nutrition. I have a wonderful relationship with the gym. The gym is like my therapy. It really, really is. You've probably heard that from people, but it truly is. It takes me out of my mindset for whatever, how long it is, an hour or 30 minutes. And it is the highlight of my day. And that is really why I believe health and fitness is my passion, and why I really want to pursue that passion, and really why I wanted to start this YouTube channel, because back then we didn't have that information. We didn't have YouTube to like look up a workout move or nutrition tips or, you know, how to stay productive, things like that. Like we didn't have that. So today, like, I am so grateful for all these platforms, but not every fitness YouTuber or Instagram star is relatable. And I want to be relatable for you guys. I want you to know that not every fitness and health journey has to start with, you know, you being overweight or you having an eating disorder or whatever. It doesn't have to be this extreme thing. Sometimes it's just that I want to feel better about myself and I want to lose, you know, maybe a couple pounds. Sometimes it's just about, I want to feel better about myself, and that's why I started. Sometimes it's just about my mental health was so shitty that I needed to do something to get myself out of my own head. And that really is what it was for me, was that I never felt worth it. I never felt enough. And being at the gym and living this healthy lifestyle that I have now embedded into my life makes me feel worthy. It makes me feel so good and feel so good and feel positive and just overall it's changed me, and I feel like it's changed me for the better. And honestly, that's why I wanted to make this video, because I want you to know that everybody's journey is different, and however you come to fitness and health, it doesn't matter, because the outcomes of this journey are so beneficial. Like, all across the board, you are going to feel good. Your body is going to feel good. It's going to look good. You're going to notice changes. Your mind is going to feel good. You're going to just feel so much better about yourself. There's no downfall. There's absolutely no downfall. So I hope you enjoyed this story, and I hope it wasn't super long for you. And I do want to point out that the photos that I've showed you, you may look at that and go, what the heck, Nicole? Like, I wish I could look like that, and you're complaining that you were too thin or you were this. Everybody is different, okay? Everybody is different, and I want you to remember that, especially when it comes to fitness and health, because I know that I wasn't healthy. And you may think that I look amazing in those photos, but I know that I don't. And I know that I was not healthy and that I did not feel good about myself. And today, any photo that I take today, I feel good. Even if I don't look perfect in the photo, I feel good about myself, and I feel, yeah, that's just the way it is. And back then, if you had taken a photo of me, I would have ran. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this story. I think that it's really important that we talk about it and open up the conversation, and that's what we're here to do on this channel. And if you guys enjoyed the video, if you guys enjoyed the story, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, because it really supports my channel. I love making videos, and I hope that you love watching them. And I love you.